What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. First and foremost, before I begin, I just want to say I'm sorry. I apologize for depriving you guys from seeing my lovely, beautiful face for 3 whole months. I know it's been a while since I last posted a video, and like I said, I'm sorry. I wish I could come back here and give you guys some great excuses as to why I've been gone. But I don't. I have been lazy. I've been procrastinating, and I've just been unmotivated. And I think it started off. It's kind of been like a snowball effect. The beginning of the year for me, like I was up here, like mentally, physically, spiritually. Like I was just on the best I've ever been. Like this is when I started this channel. And I was setting on my New Year's resolutions. You know, it's how it usually starts with New Year's, you know, New Year, new me type stuff. But I don't know. I just feel like I feel like I was the best I've ever felt in my life. And, you know, it's just when I joined the military too, I was feeling good. So I had such good feelings for this year. And I was just like, man, I'm gonna set all these goals. I'm gonna do this, this, and this. And can't nobody stop me. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Which isn't bad at all. Like, I set the bar high for myself because I have high standards for myself, which I still do. It just, I don't think I allowed for any room for error in my plans and my goals. And I don't know why, but I think I expected myself to be, I think I put like a standard of perfection on me. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't ever usually a perfectionist, but since I've started this channel, it's like I start overthinking stuff more than I should, and it's like everything has to be perfect type stuff before I release a video. You know what I'm saying? And I think that put an overwhelming amount of pressure on me, on myself, like on the pressure to like succeed. I think and it was like an unhealthy pressure, an unhealthy feeling of, oh, I gotta get it. You know, that work hustle culture mindset. Yeah, I kind of adopted that, and I just quickly realized how ineffective and unproductive and unhealthy it is for my mental health, for my spiritual health, my physical health, all of that. Because there's no balance. It's just work, and that's just not that's not me. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand the power of working hard. I understand the value of hard work and the value of our time and all this productivity, all that stuff, which is all great. But I think that I started taking myself a little bit too seriously. And, you know, as y'all know, you know, as the year progressed, you know, things happen, and I don't want to use, you know, bad things as an excuse. I don't want to use those struggles I've been through this year as an excuse to, you know, not committing myself fully to my goals and my dreams. But it kind of did put a dent on those, and like I said, it was a snowball effect. It was one thing that led to another. You know, I won't post a video for a week, a day, a week, days turn to weeks, weeks turn to months, and it just like I said, and it's hard to. The hardest part is really getting back into it and really, you know, taking that first step again. You know, that was the problem I faced when I first made the channel. You know, this is something I've always wanted to do, like for a couple of years now, and the hardest part was really just get the ball rolling and making that first video. And it's kind of like this is like the problem I was facing again. You know, just getting back into this, making a video after 3-4 months of being away. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get better. This is all, you know, this is all part of my self-development journey, and you know, I don't expect myself to be perfect, and that's kind of what I'm trying to work more towards. Is just being easy on myself and still working hard, still being diligent and not being complacent, but at the same time allowing room for error and room to learn and grow. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me. You know, this is definitely this is my confidence booster right here. You know, seeing all the love and support that you guys show me on every video. You know, every video that I've gotten so much more love and support than I expected so early on, and you know, know the algorithm's definitely gonna punish me for taking a couple months off, but it is what it is, man. This year is coming to an end, a couple months. So I definitely want to finish strong and, like I said, get the ball back rolling again and go into 2022, the ball rolling, hit the ground running in. I don't want to give up. I don't want to stop. And that's just not in my nature. It's just all about growing and learning along the way. So I appreciate y'all sticking with me. And without further ado, let's get back into the video. So for those of you that don't know, I live in Guam. I'm stationed here for the military. I'm in the Air Force. Here on a two-year tour. I've been here for 6 months now. I got here March 14th, so actually September 14th was my 6-month mark, and of my 2 years here. And so far, I love it. Right, I love it, and I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about this little island. For those of you that don't know, it's a beautiful little tropical island off the coast of Japan, near the Philippines. I'll probably include a little picture on a map or something. But whether you live here now or you're thinking about coming here, moving here, you're about to PCS out here, hope you guys found value in the video. If you do, leave a like, comment, and you already know to subscribe. Well, the first part I want to get into, and probably the most obvious one, is the weather. So the weather is just like, Guam is just like your typical tropical island. Beautiful weather. There's actually 2 seasons that we have here. You got your dry and your wet season. So the dry season, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's hot and sunny all the time. And in your wet season, it'll rain a lot, like once a day type stuff. And so that's definitely something to look out for. Like I said, I'm in the military, and my job is, I'm basically a construction worker. So being out there when it's hot and humid and rainy, it can suck sometimes. The next thing I want to get into is the island life itself. First and foremost, it's real chill. Like I don't know if you guys are, if you're like used to the city life, the rustle bustle, everybody's in a rush type environment. This is like the complete opposite. And that was actually one of the first things that I got warned about when I first got here. It was like, slow down, take your time. Don't try to see the whole island in the first 2 days you're here, because you'll get bored super quick. In saying that, though, there's a lot to do on the island. It's a small island, but there's a lot to do. So you got hiking, which I do at least once a weekend. There's so many trails, like different hikes, different trails. I've taken you guys on one. I'll probably show you guys. I definitely got to take y'all on more, because there's a lot out there. You got just snorkeling, which I've been once, but I don't know. I gotta give me a GoPro or something if I want to show you all that. You got scuba diving, which I haven't done yet. I want to get scuba certified. I heard that this is like the best place to get it because it's like the cheapest in the world. You got your booze cruises, which I also haven't done yet. And then just other activities, the beach obviously, and just beach activities. And the good thing is about most of this stuff is mostly free or cheap. Like I said, scuba diving is probably the cheapest that you'll find in the world to get certified. Other than that, though, going to the beach is free. Going on a hiking trail is free. Snorkeling, you can even get your own snorkeling gear and go out to, like, there's a pier, and you can go out there for free. So that's a good part. And then lastly, on the pros list is culture. I mean, the culture in general is just amazing. The people are nice and the food is amazing. Actually, the locals are so cool. Like you'll go to the beach or something, and they'll like invite you over to hang out with them or grill out with them. Like if they're having a party or a birthday party, they throw parties for everything, like birthdays, graduations, to get-togethers. They do it all. They do it for every occasion, and they'll often go to the beach, grill out, and you'll just see them and they'll invite you over, man. It's so cool, especially because you don't really see much of that in the States. People are more to themselves and not too social. I mean, including myself. I mean, I'm a pretty social person, but only when I'm I don't really initiate too often. I got to be invited. You know what I'm saying? I'm a social introvert. Is what I call myself. But you know, whenever they'll invite us over, you know, I'm the first one to go over there, grab some food, and you know, make new friends. I love making new friends, man. And the food, oh man, everybody can bond over food, man. And the food is amazing. The local food, you gotta eat local though. Like, don't don't get the American food here, like Wendy's, McDonald's, basic stuff, because that stuff gets imported over here, and by the time it gets over here, it's like stale and not as good. It's all right, not stale, but it's just not as good as eating the local food that's grown here and cooked here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, don't be afraid to step out your comfort zone. So if you're a foodie, you will love it here. If you one of them picky eaters, you have to expand your horizons a little bit. Like I said though, those are just a few of my pros that I've experienced since being here on the island. There's so many more. I mean, you know, the location itself is a pro, like being close to Japan and Asia and the Philippines, Australia. Like if COVID wasn't a thing, like we could travel to all of those places freely, and that would just be cool. Just so you're not stuck on this tiny little island, you know, for your whole 2, 3, 4 years, however long you're here. That actually brings me into my next point, and I'm gonna get into the cons here. But so the island itself, uh, it's pretty small. It's a small, tiny island, like I said, in the middle of nowhere, and it can feel very isolated at times, very isolated, and especially with COVID going on, especially with COVID restricting our travel and not being able to leave the island, um, it can get real lonely. Island fever is definitely a thing. I'd hear from people all the time who are on their way out the door. People always complaining about that they didn't really like their time here, because they got bored really quickly. Like I was saying earlier, like if you come here and you do everything, like it's a lot to do. Like if you're coming here for like a 2 week vacation, oh, there's so much to do. You can do it all in 2 weeks. But if you're here for like 2, 3 years, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I done did everything. It gets monotonous. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, now what? You know, you kind of get hit with the fact that you're stuck on a little tiny island in the middle of nowhere. Another thing, and this is something that I've noticed driving my little beat up car, is the roads. All right, the roads are terrible, and the people can't drive them. People can't drive, and the roads are terrible. All right, so if you're not a good driver already, look, it's probably gonna be rough for you out here because it's rough. Other than that, though, like the speed limit is 35 miles for a reason. Like, just be careful on the roads. I wouldn't recommend bringing your car over here especially if it's a brand new car. Just leave it in the States. Buy a little beater when you get here, because it will get tore up. It will get tore up, especially with the rain. How it rains almost every day. It'll rust, and yeah, just you don't even want to deal with all that, man. Cars are a pain in themselves. So adding all the elements that come with this place you just don't want to deal with it. Speaking of the elements, the next con that I want to list is the weather. All right, so I know I said this is a pro, and it is, but the weather can also be a con. All right, so there's two spectrums to it, right? So you got your super hot, humid days, all right, and which is perfect for, like, if you're gonna go to the beach and kick it, that's the perfect weather. But when you put on that uniform, especially if you're military, you know, when you put on that uniform and you go out there and it's 80 degrees with 80% humidity, oh, it's the worst thing. Especially with, like, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining here, but especially with my job, being out there working, you know, in that heat, especially if it rained, that post rain heat is something serious. It can get real bad sometimes. You know, you go outside and it feel like you can barely breathe, and the clothes will stick to your skin, and it just get real mucky, man. It get real mucky. And I'm like I said, I'm not trying to complain or anything. I love it. I think I'm getting used to it. I think I've been used to it. but still, for somebody who's not like that easily adaptable like myself, it get bad. During the wet season, you got to be careful as well. We're in a very high typhoon traffic area. We won't get one that, like, it won't hit the island directly, but like it'll pass through, and like we'll feel the effects of it. It'll rain, it'll storm real bad. We'll get like a storm warning every couple weeks or so, but it won't ever be too bad to the point where, you know, we gotta evacuate the island, or like, you know, for my people down in Louisiana. Yeah, that bad hurricane that you guys had. Prayers out to everybody affected by that though as well. But it won't get that bad. The bad big storm we had, the last bad big storm we had was like 2002 or something like that. But since then, I mean, you know, I haven't heard anything too crazy. But it's definitely something you still want to, you know, be wary about. I bring an umbrella everywhere I go, you know, because like I said, it'd be sunny, clear skies one moment, and literally 2 minutes later, it'll be pouring down your head. Another con that I want to list, and this may not be a con for most people, but it's the stray dogs. There's stray dogs everywhere. They call them boonies, and they're everywhere. They're like squirrels back in the States. That's how common they are here. I don't know how they became a thing, or I think I noticed the same thing in Jamaica and like the Bahamas. They have like stray dogs everywhere, but that's something over here. They're harmless. They don't have, I think they have a strict rabies protocol when you get here. So like there's no rabies on the island. That's actually another thing that I'll touch on. But, you know, they're harmless for the most part, but it can get heartbreaking, you know what I'm saying, driving around and seeing them. For my pet lovers, my dog lovers out there, you know what I'm saying, you could feel like you want to go up and adopt one, or you want to pet them or stuff like that, and it's like, you can't really, they're dirty, you know what I'm saying? And you know, you often drive around and you'll see a stray on the road that's dead. They got hit by a car, and it could be sad to see. Like I said, about the rabies protocol, they have like a quarantine for people who have pets. It's really hard to get over here with them, because like you have to go through this whole long process. This is just what I've heard. You have to go through this long process with bringing your pets over here. Like they got to quarantine for like 3 weeks and like get a shot and a chip implanted in them or something like that. I don't know. It's a whole bunch of stuff. I don't have a dog or any pets. Oh, I do. Who lives with my mom? Not really my dog. It's hers. But I didn't come here with a dog, any pets, so I didn't really have to deal with any of that. But it's definitely something that I heard. So for those of you that do, be careful for that. And yeah, other than that though, like there's not too many cons. Like I love it here, man. People complain about how it's too small, and I understand with COVID, it's being stuck on this island can get isolated and it can feel suffocating at times. But I mean, I'll be chilling by myself anyways most of the time, playing the game. Oh, actually, before I finish, that is another con. The internet on this island is boo-boo as well. The connection in general. For those of you that don't know, when you come over here, you need to get one of their plans, like their internet or their phone plans, because T-Mobile, Verizon, Sprint, all that stuff, they don't really work over here. They don't have satellites over here. I think T-Mobile works, but like for me, when I got here, T-Mobile, like I switched over to like the international plan, and I got one bar everywhere I went. So I just had to switch over to their little plans. They have this thing called Docomo. Is their like main provider on the island. Docomo, you got IT&E, GME, something like that. They got their own providers, but they're not the best. Like the whole island itself is just not a good connection area. I have like the second highest internet plan, and I still lag on the game when I play multiplayer. So it just is what it is. If you're a big gamer, streamer, anything like that, you might have some frustrations with that. I really don't have a solution to that problem. it just is what it is. I have an Ethernet cable I plug into. I have to disconnect from my phone and my laptop from the Wi-Fi whenever I play the game, and I'll still get a little laggy. So what can you do? You just gotta roll with the punches on that one. Honestly, get the most expensive internet you can. But other than that, there's not really much you can do with that. Other than that, though, like I said, I love it here. I got 2 years here, and I'm even thinking about extending another year. We'll see how I feel at the end of those 2 years. Like I said, it's only been 6 months, so I still got time to explore the island and really learn the ins and outs and get tired of it, as people say, catch that island fever. If that does catch me, then I'll get up out of here. But as of right now, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving every second of it. So I'm definitely making the most of it, and I plan on doing so until my time is up. So yeah, let me know though. I know this wasn't a super extensive list. There's so many pros and cons, and there's pros and cons of every place you go to. No matter how paradise it may seem, on the brochures, there's pros and cons everywhere. So, those are just a few. I hope you guys got some value from it. Let me know your pros and cons. If you're here, let me know your pros and cons. If you're thinking about coming over here, I know there were some people who grew up here commenting down below my previous videos. So, if I miss anything, let me know. If y'all agree with me on anything, comment down below. Like I said, I'm sorry. It's been a while. This is my confidence boost to get the ball back rolling again, man. And I'm really excited to finish this year off strong. We got 3 more months. October, November, December. 3 more months. That's crazy. This year really flew by. But yeah, we're gonna finish these 3 months strong, man. We got Halloween, Christmas coming up, so we're gonna have some stuff going on. But yeah, I appreciate y'all watching. If you watched all the way through, continue to love, support, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one.